Here with the one and only Ryan Lapadat. We have the 76 kilo A group for you here tonight. They're going to live back to back with the 105 kilo A group. And Ryan, the 76s are going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, what can you say about this showdown? Carlina Tongatea, two-time world champion, defending her title against Sheffield champion Agatha Shiko, moving up from the 69s, and of course, two-time world champion Jessica Bittner joins the fray. However, America has Cranen Warford with all types of hype and excitement surrounding her chances of making it onto the podium and asserting herself into the big three.
And I think it's going to be more of an exciting, even as exciting in the 105s. We have Ashton Ruska facing off against the legend that is Anatoly Novopismeni. How do you see that going, Ryan?
It's a very, very tight race. Ashton has a sizable lead on his total that he's achieved domestically. However, Anatoly Novopismeni, multiple-time world champion, multiple-time world's best lifter, is nobody to be trifled with and will not relinquish his throne without a fight.
We are underway already, and here is Sophia Ellis, Great Britain, for 165. Historically, squat has not been her best lift. She's got a massive bench. She's got a phenomenal deadlift, but she's been working hard on this squat, and it has come up a treat.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward, at least rare combination. Big bench, big deadlift. Usually we see the subtotalists and the deadlift specialists.
And that was smooth as you like.
Sophia Ellis on the board. And I'm assuming Britain will be on point with their attempt selection like they've been all world.
They've been great all week, haven't they? Here's Clara Perrault, France, for 177.5.
Clara, historically, competing as a 69, opting to move up to the 76 kilo class, weighing in at 73.8.
Still has a couple of years in the juniors. Electing to lift in the open.
That looked good, and you mentioned her in the juniors. She's won world titles in the juniors, accustomed to international travel, international judging, and high-level competition. She's not to be overlooked in this battle.
And next out, it's Sara Sanchez-Ruiz, looking for 180 kilos to open her squat.
Sara Sanchez. Been to the IPF World Championships before, been to the Europeans, has international experience herself.
To the silver medal at the 2023 Euros.
What do you think, Joe?
I didn't seem to give it too much problems, but she did get a depth call from one of the side referees. So if we watch that back from the side, this was the side she got the white from, though.
Yeah, that looked plenty deep from that side, but like you said, that's the side she got the white. Not all hips rest the same.
And we are getting into some big numbers already. It's Sammy DePass, Jamaica. Second time we've seen her at Worlds. She competed in Malta. Squatted 195 in Malta, and she's opening here with 197.5. That's some progress.
Yeah, competing 3 years. Progress comes quick at the beginning of your career. She's already in the middle of the battle, making prime time Group A. Looks on point. You know, and someone like her, it's going to be very difficult to scout for the rest of the national teams.
Because she's on a trajectory. Not quite newbie gains, but not too far outside it. Now here we go. It is Agata Shitko. And if you do not know Agata Shitko, you have not been paying attention to powerlifting. I think this is the only competition so far she hasn't won.
Yeah, she's won a world title equipped, not a open classic like you said.
And she's won the juniors classic.
Wow, 200 kilos. Ordinarily would be a big opener for her. Moved very well.
But I wonder how that feels now, having dipped down to the 63s, and she's been able to eat back up into the 76s.
69s, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes, 69s. So she must feel super powered right now. Jess Bittner already on the platform, looking focused and ready for 202.5. And of course, who could forget that showdown with Jess Bittner and Agata Shitko in Sun City in 2022?
Agata pushed Jess to pull the biggest deadlift in IPF history to win. Oh,
that was nice.
It was nice. It's a little bit of work for an opener, 202.5. Jess, two-time world champion. I remember the first year I was commentating, 2016, Jessica Bittner was there winning junior world titles. She's not unaccustomed to this.
And this is a new lifter to me, Ryan. Haven't seen her in the IPF before. I know you've seen her lift before. Crane and Warford, USA.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to do the commentary session when she won the American title and her spot on Team USA, and here she is. Relatively new to powerlifting, but has a world of potential.
Only with 205 here. She did 212.5 at the Powerlifting America Raw Nationals.
Depth is there. Wow.
That was fast. It almost looked like she was a little off balance because it was so fast at the top.
Side-by-side comparison, she opened slightly heavier than Jess.
And it was faster.
And it moved faster. And coming into this, we believe the battle is between Agata and Carlina and Crane and Jess for third position. However, there's a lot of lifting left to go, and we'll see how it all shakes up.
And here is the defending world champion, Carlina Tongatea, New Zealand. She's opening today with 217.5. She has the world record, 230.5.
Carlina, the first 76 to total 600 kilos. Finds herself in a heavily hyped showdown against Agata Shitko, who's riding all types of momentum off that win from Sheffield.
Lightning fast into the hole, a little bit sticky on the way up. She's got plenty left in the tank though.
Her opener to me looked comparable to Jessica Bittner's. Now, sometimes openers look that way. Sometimes these ladies have a lot more fight than you might have thought based off of that opener, but a little bit of work.
It was, but she's a fighter. She is a fierce competitor.
Both her and Jess.
So Carlina is leading the way with 217.5. Mara Hamis was brilliant this morning. She had the day of her life. But we have already moved into the second round. Here's Sophia Ellis, 175. Biggest squat so far is 180. She did that at Europeans.
Sophia does have the advantage. She doesn't cut to get into this weight class. And the way that second attempt moved to me, looks like she might be pacing towards hitting that 180 on her third. What would you say, Joe?
I would say she should have at least 180, yeah. Yeah, there it is, gone in. And this is Clara Perrault for 187.5. 10 kilo jump. But as you say, she's an experienced international competitor. Still got 2 years in the juniors.
And
Yeah, it looks smooth.
For Clara, that is smooth. You know the weights are getting difficult when she starts letting out her war cry upon lockout. Nice, calm, cool, and collected means Clara hasn't had to kick it into another high gear.
$187.5 now for Sarah Sanchez. This matches the best she's ever done in competition. And that moved really well. This has been a third attempt for her last few competitions. Taking it easily for a second today.
Yeah, that's an appropriate second. Be interesting to see where she takes it on her third based off of that.
And here's Sammy DePass. Look at this, 207.5 going on the bar. This is already 5 kilos more than we've seen from her in the past. Hit 202.5 at her nationals late last year.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but looking at the projected, Sammy just 2.5 kilos below Jessica Bittner. Now a lot can change. However, people like Sammy can surprise you when they're making fast gains like this.
Wow. That was very impressive indeed. She has at least another 5 in her, if not maybe 7.5. What do you think, Ryan?
Take a look at this slow-mo replay. Yeah, you know what? Bar path bang on, the speed was quick. I'd say another 5, 7.5. This is a very tight class, but she has an opportunity.
And here's Agata Shitko. Junior World Champion, European Open Champion, World Equipped Champion, World Games gold medalist. Never quite managed to crack this competition. But that's 207.5. That's 5 kilos more than she's ever done raw.
That was a little bit of stiff work for a second. Let's take a look at this slow-mo replay.
We know Agata can grind.
Depth is there. Yeah, she didn't
Not too much more left.
Didn't have to empty the tank, but probably advisable to tread softly, maybe 5 kilos for her third.
So here's Jess Bittner. She's gone up to 210.
Jessica, on a good day, can go as high as 220. She used to hold the world squat record. Wow. You know what? Kind of sort of looked more convincing than her opener.
Yeah.
After she re-racked the opener, the expression on her face was, felt the same way myself. After the second attempt, the confidence level in herself rose, and watching her, I'd be comfortable with a bigger jump for the third.
A bigger jump would put her at 220. You think she's got 220 today?
She might need it if I'm honest, and if she wants to go all in for that podium.
But here's a Crane Warford, USA, looking for 215 for her second squat. Made short work of 205.
Already into personal best territory. This is what happens when you have these new entrants to the world stage. Quick gains. Depth for sure.
Yeah, they're moving well.
And she does not look overcome by the moment, despite being here amongst several world champions. Look at that squat depth, Joe. Convincing for someone who's new to the scene.
Well, that's what you want. Don't leave it in the hands of the referees. And speaking of world champions, here comes Carlina Tongatea. Looking for 225 for her second. Hopefully this is pacing towards a squat world record attempt for her third. But it's going to be close here. She's going to need every kilo she can squeeze out. But she's got a great squat and an indomitable spirit.
Beautiful catch by the spotters, and that was some heart, ladies and gentlemen, albeit a little bit surprising.
Very surprising, and how much energy has she used? She fought that bar for a long time.
Now, Agatha Shiko herself only going up 2.5 kilos. Her second attempt was more difficult than they probably originally anticipated, but to fail this early when the squat event is definitely one of Carlina's better events, obviously having the squat world record, we could have some shakeups.
Yeah, we'd expect her to front load her total with that squat, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen today. And this is running quickly. We already have Sophia Ellis here for 180. Her 175 looked great, to be honest.
And it should be noted, some of these lifters might have to adjust and bring their numbers down.
Not quite. That's a shame. She'll be disappointed with that.
Peeking at the scoreboard, and Jessica Bittner put in 215. I know I originally was saying, she might need 220, but looking at this pacing, I think maybe 215 and conservative jumps for thirds might be a good option.
I think that's a better move. Clara Perro's gone up 5. This is 192.5.
This is probably sensible.
It's a long competition. You don't want to be giving away all your energy on squat. Most we've seen her do before is 185, so we're already a long way ahead of that.
There's the war cry I was talking about, and we're right on pace.
3 white lights for Perro. Here comes Sarah Sanchez, also looking for 192.5.
This is a good squat for Sarah. 5 kilo jump, 5 kilo personal best. Bang on.
Right on the money there with the attempt selection.
The national teams are adjusting to the day. Perfect execution there, depth. Never lowers her chest, stays in the pocket.
Here's Agatha Shitko for 210. She's taken, as you say, minimum increment, 2.5 kilos. Now, Shitko was never going to win in the squat. She was never going to be ahead in the squat. But she's going to make massive leaps on bench.
Winning in the squat wasn't on the table, but she does need these kilos. Even this 2.5 might make the difference. Oh, again, this is a bit of a messy squat session, but it makes it exciting and interesting.
But she didn't leave anything behind there, really. She got to a 7.5. She missed 210. So she got everything she was capable of on the day.
Interesting, in the projected, only 2.5 separates Carlina and Agatha. Should Carlina hit that 225, again, 2.5 makes a big difference. This is a very tight race.
Sammy DePaz looking for 215 for her final squat. She's fighting for a squat medal here. This will move her up to silver medal position with 3 lifters still to go. Yeah, I think that was a little bit more tentative on depth.
Yeah, tentative on depth is a nice way to put it, Joe.
I think because the weight was so heavy, you kind of, it's a protective measure, isn't it? The body says, do you know what, don't go quite so deep with that one. I'm not sure I can stand it up.
She was a surprising possible podium threat, still is, but where she was possibly neck and neck with Jess has an opportunity now that the pass missed that 7.5. Jess can collect 5.
215 on her back.
That looks good for Jess. Whoa.
I think she's got it.
Yeah, and 215 was right on the money selection by Team Canada. The appropriate call, this is a brisk pace, and pacing is going to win the day.
2 squats remain for the women. Here's Crane and Warford, 220 on the bar.
I think the 5 kilo jump by the Americans matching the pacing in terms of jumps, not overall weight, is a good idea. And what a battle this is going to be.
And looking at the projected, we're going to have a real scrap for the bronze medal position. And of course, the bronze medal gets you a World Games place this year.
It's a battle between North America, it would appear for now, unless the pass can recover some ground. Plenty of lifting left to go. Oh, talk about heart!
Wow.
On Warford. Whoa!
I thought she'd lost that completely.
And that is a squat grinder, fighting for every kilo. That is how medals are won. That is how a ticket to the World Games might be won. And the battle continues.
Very impressive indeed. Now we have 1 squat remaining, and it's Carlina Tongatea to retake the 225 she missed on her second. And right, it seemed like on strength.
This might be pivotal. You hate to say that this early. It's only the very first event.
But this is where Carlina collects a lot of her kilos.
It is not in the script for Carlina to move forward with 217.5 in squat when she's hit 230.5. 230's off the table, but she really needs 225. Uh-oh, she's pitched forward.
And it's not going. She is not in her best form today.
Looks a little bit distressed as she exits the platform. Wow, Joe.
Well, I did not expect that. I expected her to be close to a world record. And this really opens the door for Shitko. But look at that. Crane and Warford takes the squat gold medal.
Newcomer.
Carlina Tongatea, the silver. I mean, that's surprising in itself. Jess Bittner picks up the bronze with 215.
It's already interesting, and it's going to be difficult to call. This could shake up the entire podium, if I'm honest.
And we, without any opportunity to catch our breath, we are straight into the men's 105s. And we are going to begin with one of Britain's best deadlifters, Sanchez Dillon.
And by one of Britain's best, we might be speaking the world's best by the end of the day. At the Arnold UK, he attempted the biggest deadlift in IPF history as a 105. That is almost unfathomable. And I spoke to him on social media. He said he will be attempting it again today.
He took the world record that day, made sure of the world record, then took a massive punt on 411. But that was 270 for his opening squat.
And that 411, he got it up to his knees, and for a 105, he is extremely tall. I don't know how he makes the weight.
Next out is Walter Carriazo, Canada, looking for 285 to start his day. Haven't seen him on the world stage since Calgary 2018.
I was going to say, I remember Walter well. We're both from Ontario. I see him around from time to time, and I remember him in 2018. He's back. It's been a minute, but he's been working on his craft.
That was a lovely opening squat. Corentin Clement is out next. Team France, 300 kilos on the bar.
Coco Clement has won world titles in the juniors, has competed in the open, well traveled for a young man his age. Let's wait for the refs.
2 to 1, it's a good lift. We both kind of hesitated. I wasn't sure about the depth at all.
Well, the ref on our side also gave him a red, so it's probably just a bad hip side. Looks better from this side. Coco, a very tall 105, and squat depth is going to be borderline, 2 to 1 in his favor, 2 to 1 against him. This time it's in his favor and he moves forward.
Next out, it's Timo Jacobi, Team Germany. He is looking for 310.
Jacobi has hit 332.5. This is well within his means. Oh, jury
has overruled. I was a little bit concerned. And that's Coco Clement.
That's gonna put Coco back.
Well, here we have Timo Jacobi, relatively new to international lifting. He's done a couple of Europeans. First World Championship. Wow. That was how you want your opener to move. Now here's a familiar face. We have Emil Norling, Sweden.
It would be foolish to overlook the 2022 world champion, Emil, while he has never defeated Anatoly at the World Championships, is 3-0 against Anatoly at the Europeans. That was smooth, that was quick.
No drama there, didn't give a lot away.
Difficult to get a read on it, on Emil. When it comes to his training, he doesn't post a lot. He has posted up previously as big as a 928.5 total.
Next out, we have Abdullah Mohammed, Libya. He was the bronze medalist last year in Malta. Squatted 325 that day. Only with 320 here.
Back home in Libya, he has squatted as much as 335 kilos. But back home is different than the world stage. And he rests that bar high on his traps, and his traps are high at that. Look at that squat.
It's not a style you teach,
But
it certainly works for him.
No, look at where the chalk line is, up by his neck, across his massive traps. You're not going to replicate that at home. Please don't try it.
And here we have Ashton Ruska, another of the new wave of American lifters that have come over back to the IPF. He's opening with 325 kilos.
Ashton has squatted 363. He has competed internationally. He's been in many battles, well-traveled, battle-tested. I'm expecting him to hit depth and move on. That's depth for sure.
Easy.
That is strong and authoritative.
He's made a statement there. I think he'll take a big jump now, Ryan.
Making his squats undeniable. I think he's going to take a considerable jump from there.
But look at this, Anatoly Novopismeni. He is only with 350 kilos.
And this is surprising. I don't know if Anatoly is flying too close to the sun or if he's really that strong at this point where 350 is a viable opener. His max, 365, only 15 kilos away, is awfully close. We're about to find out.
He doesn't tend to take big jumps, though. He's opened at 340 and 345 before.
And this is trouble. This is big, big, big trouble.
Game on.
Anatoly earlier at Sheffield was injured. If we look at that total, that might be misleading.
I did not expect him to open that heavy, but I certainly didn't expect 350 to move that well. So he is now at 25 kilos out in the lead, with Ruska only a couple of kilos ahead of Japanese lifter from the earlier flight.
And it all depends on where you end up, not where you begin, but a 25 kilo lead after openers is not what the majority of us would have expected.
I've just seen Anatoly has put in the world record, 363.5 for his second attempt.
The way 350 moved, that's not reaching too far.
But here we have Sanchez Dillon for 285. Expect him to really come into his own on deadlift.
Yeah, he's looking to cruise through the squat event, go 3 for 3, grab some kilos. But he's
not tire his back out.
Right, that's exactly it. He's not going to make a play for the podium, with all due respect, but he might make a very strong statement come the deadlifts, possibly historic, but I will not get ahead of myself.
Walter Carrazio, Canada, open at 285. He's gone up to 297.5.
You know, it'll be interesting if Anatoly can hit these kind of weights with this pacing. I understand the opener was lightning quick, but so is the pace.
8 lifters in a flight, doesn't leave a lot of time for recovery. That was nice from Walter.
Yeah, Team Canada pacing both of the lifters, Jess and Walter, nicely. And look at this.
Quentin Clement, he has not been concerned about missing 300. He's gone up to 310. You think that's a wise move, Ryan?
Well, I'll tell you this. I know for a fact Team France, the federation and coaching staff, put a lot of weight on the World Games, and for them, pacing for that World Games means a lot, not just in the field, whether you're 4th, 5th, and getting national team points. So, with that strategy in mind, I guess it does make sense because he cannot lose these kilos and fall behind. Depth was much better, much better.
Not super easy for a second, but he's on the board and he's got 3 white lights.
Look at that. It paid off. High risk, high reward. Although, having said that, it's still going to be rather difficult to get on that podium when you have Anatoly Novopismani, who's won world titles, Emil Norling, who's won world titles, and of course Ashton crossing over.
And here is Emil Norling, looking for a 12.5 kilo jump up to 322.5. His opener was great, not spectacular. Looked solid.
He has squatted as much as 342.5 at 322.5, not expecting a 20 kilo jump after this. And it's solid. I believe Sweden is probably going to try to pace him for a bronze. He's obvious. I don't think his conditioning is where he previously was at his best, Joe. What do you think?
He doesn't seem to be absolutely on fire. He's looking pretty strong, fairly solid. I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be shining out of him today.
Certainly not pacing for that personal best. But there's more lifting to go, and I've been surprised before.
And he's got that massive deadlift. This is Timo Jacobi. He's taken a 15 kilo jump up to 325. His opener moved really quick.
Wow.
3 white lights, a good lift.
Jacobi, a powerful squatter, plays his cards right, might end up with a squat medal depending on how all this plays out.
Well, I think this man would also like a squat medal. It's Abdullah Mohammed, Libya. Relatively small jump, gone to 327.5. His squats are really hard to read with that high bar position.
Yeah, it's kind of all or nothing. Very difficult to grind out a squat when you have this style. In contrast, Anatoly, Ashton, known to grind squats when they need to. Slow and steady. I don't know how much more he's got in there, though.
I find him absolutely impossible to read. He might have another 20, it might be 2. I really don't know.
That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment.
It's just such an unusual style. And here comes Ashton Ruska. Look at this, he's taking a 30 kilo jump.
So this is where Ashton's going to cover some ground.
355 on the bar. He goes past Novopismeni with this, with Anatoly still to respond.
It's not where you start, it's where you finish. Maybe Ashton conserving a little more energy than Anatoly. Depth for sure. Whoa.
Depth is incredible.
Ashton is on point today, and there's more where that came from. Look at this, the depth is undeniable. And he looks solid. That
He
was
does.
a clean lift.
He looks really strong.
And you can see what I mean, where he's actually poised. If he has to grind out and fight, he's in position to do so.
Now he's ahead of Anatoly, so Anatoly needs this world record to get back into the lead. 363.5 to take his own world record squat.
The returning world champion is meeting his greatest threat in loading the bar with the biggest squat he's ever had on his second attempt. He's certainly answering the call, isn't he?
Anatoly has put 20 kilos on this record over the past couple of years. Oh my word.
Goodness! And that's moving like a second attempt, not like a world record where you expect a grind, you expect a fight. There was none of that.
That was incredible. Where's he going to go, Ryan? 370.5?
The thing is, Anatoly, while he has a magnificent squat, is going to lose a lot of ground come the deadlifts. He doesn't want to get too bold in overreach.
And Ashton has put a world record attempt in for his third. I'm just keeping my eye on that scoreboard. 370.5.
That sounds good to me.
I called it. Sanchez Dillon now for 295.
I didn't say it, I was thinking it.
Sanchez just looking to get all those pesky squats and benches out of the way so he can have some fun with the deadlift.
Great fight. Fantastic fight, 295.
Didn't quite get down.
I agree with that, though, unfortunately. And it's too bad he fought for no reason.
Yeah.
You know, taxing his back a little bit and not picking up kilos. That's a shame. Not just for him, but our viewing pleasure when he loads up for possibly the biggest deadlift of all time.
Here's Walter Carriazo, Canada, for 307.5. 10 kilo jump to his third. Second was smooth, but he has been drawing red cards for depth. And one red card won't overturn the squat. But as the weight gets heavier, you naturally cut that depth a little bit.
Oh, that was a fight. Perfect call by the Canadians. Not a kilo more in him. 3 whites this time, Joe.
I think he was deeper on that one than he was on the other two.
Whether he liked it or not.
Yes. Corentin Clement is out next. Missed his opener, went up anyway. This is 317.5.
Corentin has hit 327.5. Will settle for 317.5 today, and that's probably a good call. 310, while he hit it, was laborious. Got heart. Let's see what the judges say. 2-1, it's good.
I wasn't sure about the depth. He did get a red card from this side. So let's take a look at the other side, and that did look better.
Yeah, and the judges are doing the same thing we just did. I see them huddled around their monitor. By judges, sorry, I mean the jury.
5-man jury in effect tonight. And while they deliberate, they've overruled. That is no lift for Coco Clement.
It's a shame. Look good from our viewpoint.
Emil Norling now, 327.5 on the bar. He does seem to be a little bit down on his best. To want a good lift. Now he got a yellow card from the side referee. I wonder what that was.
Emil, we're not going to see it from this angle, but Emil moves forward 3 for 3. However, the squat has lowered from his best previous. How that ends up stacking up, we will see. Is he vulnerable in that possible podium finish? He might be.
He might be. This is Abdullah Mohammed, Libya, for 332.5. Only 5 kilos up from his second.
Yeah.
Which was, to my eyes, completely unreadable. He was on the podium last year. He is the threat for the podium this year too.
Nice catch.
Not quite there. And that's the thing with the high bar squats. They run out of steam really quickly.
He gathers himself as he exits the platform. Look at that, a pause, a little down up, and the spotters quickly save him.
And here's Timo Jacobi looking to snatch a squat, a bronze medal with 335. He will knock Abdullah Mohammed off the squat podium.
325 moved well for him. But 10 kilos is sizable.
No, not quite there, so that leaves Mohammed with the squat bronze. And we have 2 back-to-back world record attempts coming up. First out, it's going to be Ashton Ruska, 365.5 to take the record that Nova Pismeni just set.
Monster squat in an opportunity to take the lead should he hit, and Anatoly misses.
And his second looked really strong.
While this is heavier than Ashton's previously done, not by a country mile, just 2.5 kilos, it's reasonable. More than that, in this battle, it's pivotal.
Cannot afford to miss.
Depth. Whoa, and Ashton
He does not miss.
strikes back, seizing the world record. The battle of the 105s rages on.
He almost sat on the ground with that one. Phenomenal. So the world record is with Ruska. But for how long? Anatoly Novopismeni coming out now for 370.5. Is it a step too far? Should he have just covered with 366?
363.5 moved well. In bigger picture, he's going to lose ground after bench when it comes to deadlifts. He needs to overextend Ashton on his final pull. These kilos need to add up. We knew coming into this, Ashton had previously hit the bigger total. The kilos got to come from somewhere.
And we know he can grind. And he didn't even need to grind.
Didn't need to. He didn't need to. And
Wow.
that's scary.
3 white lights. There is no overturning that. That is the world record and the squat gold.
You know, crazy enough, the conversation might be, did he undershoot? And that's crazy.
Usually we see him really shake and grind on his final squat. That looked comfortable. So Novopismeni takes the squat gold, Ruska the silver, and Mohammed takes the bronze. We're going to take a 10-minute break now. See you back here for bench. Welcome back to what is shaping up to be a fantastic session here at the Classic World Championships. I mean, they've all been great, but we have the 76 kilo women. And what did we just see in the 105 kilo men, Ryan?
Listen, we knew Anatoly Novopismani, if he was going to answer the call and defend his title against Ashton, he needed to find those kilos somewhere because Ashton is going to outpull him. He found those kilos in the squat event, also picked up the chip. The battle is on. It's too close to call. Can he do the same in the bench press?
Well, he definitely has the bigger bench. He had to go at the bench press world record at the Europeans last year.
And in terms of the 76 squat session,
that was a surprise. We had Carlina miss 225 twice, seemingly on strength.
Look, if history is an indicator of the future, very similar to Leah Bavois, the squat world record holder, defending her title, moving forward with just an opener, and we know how that story ended.
But here's Jess Bittner. She is owning her bench on 102.5. Historically not her favourite discipline.
That's a charitable assessment.
Garrett Bentley coaching there. He's the equipped bench press world record holder as of a couple of weeks ago in Texas.
Garrett has led Jessica to a world title.
Nice and steady, good opening bench there.
And Jess has a huge squat, huge deadlift, just needs to hold serve in the bench press.
And it's Crane and Warford out next, USA.
Almost like mirror images in terms of big squat, hold serve on the bench, and Crane also big deadlift.
Opening here with 115.
But there is a 12 and a half kilos there. Just in comparison, Carlina opening with 125 and of course Agatha 147 and a half. This is where Jess and Cranen aren't looking to try to keep up with those two.
Could hear her coach shout, "Hold it" at the top there. You have to wait for the referee to tell you to do every movement on the bench. He'll tell you to start.
So how close is this battle? Well, Jess and Warford both projected at 555 kilos.
Wow.
Excuse me. Warford's at 560. Jess is at 555.
Yeah, Warford just put a attempt in as you spoke.
Very, very close.
Sammy DePass for 115. Now that was tough, but I think she made just a little technical error on the chest. It was hard to see from the top view, but I think that was harder than it needed to have been. Yeah, it wasn't really visible like that. She just seemed to rotate a little bit as it sat on the chest. Good lift nonetheless, and here's Sophia Ellis for the same weight, 115. Beautiful. Nice and easy for Sophia. Clara Perrault is out next, Team France for 115. Seems to be a popular opener in this class.
makes easy work of it. And as I look at the second attempts, allow me to take my foot out of my mouth. Warford, 120 for her second. She's made some big gains on bench press. If she could keep pacing and end up around the 125 range, that is definitely well ahead of Jess. Jess got a bigger pull, but...
This is Sara Sanchez, Spain. Again, 115 on the bar, giving the loading crew an easy time. Now she's picked up a red card for elbow depth. So the rule is that the bottom of the elbow must be at least parallel with the middle of the shoulder joint. I think that's overturned. So that was no lift for Sanchez. Here's Carlina Tongatea, looking for 125.
All is not lost for Carlina. In the projected, she's just 10 kilos behind.
And that's just a missed lift.
Yeah,
for Shitko.
Egeta misses one. Carlina hits. Everything changes.
Referee just instructing that her fingers can't be wider than the rings on the bar. Now bench has really come on. Her best on the platform is 127.5, and she's just smoked 125.
An opportunity for Carlina to regain some confidence.
Now here comes the bench queen. She holds the world record in the 69 kilo class, the 76 kilo class, the 84 kilo class, opening with 147.5.
For a little perspective, 154.5 is the world record. Wow.
That was so easy. 3 white lights. No issues with elbow depth, which has plagued her a little bit.
And if elbow depth does not plague her today, she's going to grab a lot of kilos in the bench event.
155 for her second, maybe?
Yeah, look at that elbow depth, actually.
She's sinking further than she used to, sinking into the chest.
She's adjusted.
Second round already, and it's Jess Bittner for 107.5.
This is going to tie her previous personal best. Nicely done.
A little bit slow through the top end. She has got those long deadlift arms.
Yeah, for Jess, 107.5 on her second. It's good. She can collect another 2.5 kilos. She wouldn't have ordinarily. I wouldn't go beyond that, though.
Here's Sara Sanchez. Now, she had her first bench turned down for elbow depth. So she's going to need to adjust here. The only adjustment she can really make is to sink a bit further or to bring her grip in slightly. We have seen some lifters internally rotating at the shoulder to get that depth, but that's not a recipe for a long life of benching. Now the weight moved easily, and she's got 3 whites.
Team Spain breathes a sigh of relief.
Crane and Warford now, 120 on the bar.
The progress that Crane is setting herself up for when 115 was a previous personal best on her third, and now she's opening up with it.
And it's slow though. I wouldn't think she's got too much more left.
Yeah, that'll be difficult to get more kilos out of that. Still 120. It's good progress on her bench press. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Sami de pass for 120. $5-kilo jump from her opener. Being looked after by Arian Kamesi today. No dramas there. And here's Sophia Ellis, looking for 122.5 for a second. She's taken a 7.5-kilo jump. This match is the best she's done in competition so far. Could be on for a PB today. Clara Perrault now from France for 122.5.
This will equal her previous personal best and add 7.5 kilos to her total. That's a pretty good jump in the bench press event from your first to your second. And she, well, relatively smooth.
It was pretty smooth right up until the top. She had a little bit of a sticking point right at the lockout.
2.5 kilos, do you think, Joe?
Let's just watch that back again because it looked pretty fast.
Until then.
Yeah, the right arm just started to lag a little bit. I would take 2.5 to be safe, I think. Now here's Carlina Tongatea, a little bit behind the 8 ball, having missed 2 of her squats, so she's going to want to squeeze out every kilo on bench that she possibly can.
Wow. While Carlina, it's going to be difficult for her to pick up all the kilos she lost in the squat event, she can mitigate that loss. What do you anticipate Team New Zealand loads for her third?
They're not going to want to risk 5, I don't think. I think it's going to be 2.5 because you can't afford to miss. Now here's Agata Shitko. Earlier in her career, I would have said she would have gone for the world record straight away for sure. Much maturer attempt selection here, not being distracted by the record. Although I think she'll go for it next.
but it was a proper call. She picked up those kilos, and if she goes for the world record and misses, she's still got her second attempt.
She has been the silver medalist at this competition twice now. So she's playing a really smart game. She wants that gold this time. So she's leading the way by miles in the bench, ahead of Carlina Tongatea and Clara Pero. As we move into the third, 110 on the bar for Jess Bittner. PR time for Jess.
Can she just?
Not quite.
It's tough. She's tried this before and missed.
It's the hardest one to move on, and especially for raw women, it's 2.5 kilos can be a big jump on bench.
And 107.5 moves so well on her second.
So here's Cranen. 120 slowed her down a fair bit. This is 122.5.
I think this is a good call.
Yeah, me too.
And this is a huge 2.5 kilos. I realize 2.5 kilos, well, in a battle this tight, it might mean everything come the end of this.
No, nothing there at all. And that's the difference. You can make short work of a weight, put 2.5 more on. You have extra fatigue. You've used up some energy. And that didn't go anywhere. Sammy to pass now for the same weight. $122.5 kilos for her third bench.
Wow.
She's got it to the top, but there looked to be a lot of,
Yeah, hit a dead stop and even a down up. Still, to lock that out. Hats off to her. Yeah, maybe butt rise as well. There's fractions all over the place on that one.
Here's Sarah Sanchez. Missed her opener at 115, nailed it on her second. Looking for 122.5 to probably bridge the gap between her planned second and third attempts. And she absolutely nailed it. Great result for Sarah. GB's Sophia Ellis now for 125.
Small personal best for Sophia if she can hit this.
I think she had more. Wow. Now she did get called on elbow depth, so let's see that back from the front.
This is from the ref sitting on the left side.
We have Clara Perot now for 125. This will get her onto the bench podium. Currently, Sophia Ellis has that third step place. But I think Perot just took it from her.
Yeah, I'm glad Team France loaded up 2.5 kilos. It was quick for the majority of the second, but that stubborn right side, it popped up again for the third, even slower this time, and that was probably the perfect call to make. Look at that.
2 benches remain for the women. This is Carlina Tongatea at 132.5. We're a fair way outside what she's done in the past. Did she jump it? It's not going anyway. It can happen when you feel that the weight's too heavy. You go early because the longer it's on your chest, you're bleeding power. Yeah, she didn't wait. Now here we go, 155.5 for Agata Shitko. That can only mean it's a world record. She hasn't taken 155, which would take the record. She's added the extra chip, that half a kilo that you can only get from doing a world record. Comes in very handy later in the competition.
Wow, and that was smooth. You know what? She almost looked a little surprised herself how easy that was. And again, 3 white lights, Joe.
Yeah, she's having absolutely no difficulty. She's overcome the elbow depth issues she was having. She's overcome the butt lift issues she was having. And that was a phenomenal bench. So Shitko takes the gold, Tongatea the silver, Perot the bronze.
Agata Shitko acclimatizing to that bench depth rule. I mean, she is all types of dangerous moving forward now.
Yeah, I think so, because that wasn't a top end lift at all. Straight into the 105s, and this is Sanchez Dillon opening with 165. As we've said, he's just keeping his powder dry. He's waiting till he can get through to deadlifts, and that will be his time to shine.
Dylan Sanchez previously has benched as big as 187.5. Depending on his jumps, it doesn't appear as though he's going to end up there. Although he did have a full max final squat that he failed.
He did, but if you think about the strategy, if he's looking for the deadlift world record, he's going to want to put an easy opener on the board. And that looks pretty easy. Just make sure he's getting his total. Because without a total, you cannot take home a world record.
No question on elbow depth there.
Here's Timo Jacobi, Germany. 177.5. Just looking at the openers, Noah Pismeni's got a big bench on him. He did have a couple of cracks at the world record. I wonder if we'll see that from him again today. It's sitting at 233.5. It's with Rennie Keiki. But here's Timo Jacobi. Nice and quick. We have the next 5 lifters are all taking 200 or 202.5s. It's a tightly packed field on bench. Now, you've seen Ashton lift before, Ryan. Does he tend to take big jumps on bench?
Well, he's coming in with a 210 kilo bench PR, and this might be a big opener. I'm intrigued in seeing how this moves for him. If he's going to end up where he historically was, we're looking at 5 kilos, but he might be stronger than ever, judging by his squat and that opener. I mean,
I was just taking a look at his record, and historically he takes quite small jumps. So we might just see him go up 5, 7.5 now.
I like the conservative approach of 5 kilos.
Yeah, at Royal Nationals he went 5 kilo jump. Here's Walter Carriazo, also looking for 200 kilos. Oh, Rusker's put a 10 kilo jump in. He's going to need them today.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Three white lights could live for Walter.
For Rauska to be taking 10 kilos on the second attempt, Team USA are really pushing their chips towards the middle in the bench event.
Here's Emil Norling for 200. Now, Emil is in quite a close battle with Abdullah Mohammed for the final spot on the podium. And of course, that final spot on the podium is also a World Games place this year.
$200 kilos moves well for him.
And here is Abdullah Mohammed for 202.5.
Abdullah, 21-year veteran of the game. He's hit 215. If he was an interesting squatter, take a look at his bench press setup.
Looked like he almost went to jump the command and just managed to stop himself. Well, that is a narrow grip.
Yeah. He's about as unique a lifter as you're going to find at the IPF World Championships.
Corentin Clement, France for 202.5. Didn't have his best day on squat. But he's on the board with his opening bench. Now here we go, Ryan. It's Anatoly Novopismeny. He's opening with 215. This should tell us where he's at.
Anatoly has hit as high as 231 kilos. But if his bench is trending like his squat, he's going to go well beyond that.
And I think it might be.
Yeah, looks like it might. And if you're wondering about his relatively narrow grip, that's a trademark of Anatoly.
Now, Anatoly called out Ashton Ruska on social media recently, which is uncharacteristic, really.
Yeah, very much. He might have been posed the question and replied, but he replied boldly.
And I think he's answering that call right now. Here's Sanchez Dillon, 175 on the bar. 10 kilo up from his opener. Three white lights, another good lift for Sanchez.
Look at those deadlift arms.
He is almost scraping the platform with his elbows. Timo Jacobi. His opener was super quick. This is 7.5 kilos more, 185 on the bar. This is as much as he's done on the platform before. He's got quite a shake on. He's probably approaching his top end there, I think.
Historically speaking, that would be his top end. So take a look at the replay. Yeah, 2.5 to 5 kilos.
Abdullah Mohammed now from Libya for 207.5. Quite a conservative jump.
It looks like there's some down up there, and that is frozen in time.
It's hard to grind a close grip bench though, isn't it?
That was an extremely close grip. Look how close his hands are to his chest.
I'm not sure he made a mistake there other than it was just a little bit too heavy. Sometimes if you see the lifter make a technical error, you think, well, he can correct that and come back, but I'm not sure with that one. Here's Walter Carriazo, 207.5.
Ten-year veteran of the game, and this will equal his previous personal best.
Comfortable, that gives him room to go up for his third. Here's Emil Norling now, 207.5. He usually has much more of a strut to him than this. He's not looked to be on his best form today.
Squats were substantially lower. Bench press, depending on how this moves, might be up to what we would have anticipated. Oh, he's hit 211. We might be around 210.
Here's Ashton Ruska for 210.
Now this is one of the more interesting second attempts. His top end bench press of 210 kilos for a second attempt and a pretty big jump in 10 kilos.
Currently projected 10 kilos behind Anatoly, but as you say, he's the bigger puller.
But Anatoly's going to cover even more ground. Wow.
Slow dramatically towards the top.
But he got it, and you could tell by the expression on his face, he's happy with it. I'm going to guess, let's take a look at this. I would say 2.5 more kilos due to the slowdown at the top, but do they risk 5 more?
It comes down to whether you want to take a conservative approach, protect every kilo you can, or do you think I'm going to have to push out? They put in another 5, Ryan. Is that going to be just a stitch too much?
Sure, they had a conversation with Ash and got his feedback. Sometimes it feels different than it looks as well.
Corentin Clement now for 210. Bench going better than squat for him today. Now here we go, 225 for Anatoly Novopizmeny, Ukraine. World record is at 233.5. Could just be a distraction here today though, but let's see how this one moves. Well, what do you think, Ryan? Does he go for it? Does he squeeze every kilo he can out of that, knowing that he will be out deadlifted? Mind you, the way he's lifting today, maybe he won't be out deadlifted. He's in incredible shape.
He might have 7.5 kilos in there. Judging by the strength levels of his, okay, they're going for a more conservative 5, and you know, this is where it's a risky game, and bench press is so difficult to call because the breaks come on so quickly sometimes.
Ryan, it is standing room only in the hall tonight. We brought in more and more bleachers, but there's just not enough. So that was a good lift on his third attempt for Sanchez Dillon with 182.5. Every day we've brought more seats and more bleachers, and every day they've filled up and we've had to bring more. Last bench now for Timo Jacobi, Germany. 2.5 kilo increase. I think that's smart.
Yeah, 185 was tough, and this will still be a 2.5 kilo personal best if he can hit it.
Not there today, unfortunately. Next out, it's Abdullah Mohammed. Now, missing his second has meant that he's lost ground to Emil Norling. And he was ahead, he was pacing for third. He's dropped a little bit behind now.
Looking at his second attempt, I'm not entirely sure the adjustments he can make to hit this on his third. But you're right, he's got to come out and try if he's going to try to make that podium, end up in the World Games and with a medal. It's down up already.
Unfortunately, it has just ground to a halt. Can't get it moving again.
The brakes came on around midpoint. For such a tight grip, the brakes came on before he could really engage his triceps and lock that out. Left himself in a vulnerable position.
Opens the door now for Emil Norling, who's looking for another 2.5 kilos to edge ahead of the Libyan lifter. So we've got a lot of big deadlifters in the field. Emil's one of them. Big smile there. I think he's starting to hit his stride.
That's the swagger returning that you had been referring to earlier. By the time deadlifts roll around, it might be fully back.
Five-kilo jump for Walter Carriazo. 212.5 on the bar. Looks like he's got it.
Yeah, nice selection once again by Team Canada. Five kilo personal best for Walter. 7.5 might have been too much.
Crucial lift coming up now for Ashton Ruska. 212.5 for a new PR. Now, and to hang on to Anatoly.
If Ashton and Anatoly both hit their last bench and their opening deadlifts, Anatoly will be at a 20-kilo head lead, and that's going to force Ash to outpull Anatoly to mitigate that spread. It could get worse.
Oh, and it's not going.
Oh no. And this is where, unfortunately, it might get worse due to these third attempts. Now, obviously, Anatoly's got to do his part.
It's easy to be wise after the event, but 2.5 was the call there.
It was right before the lockout, so close, and now Anatoly in a position to increase that spread and possibly force Ashton to have to load up too much to take the win.
But here is Corentin Clement for 2:15. This will get him the silver medal on bench. Take it from Carriazo. I think we have the other medalist in the B group. We can't see them on the score sheet in front of us. And he's done it. Here's Anatoly. He wants another 5 kilos. He's already got the bench gold. That will not be on his mind at all. Putting up a spirited defense of his world title today.
Yeah, and there's another 5 kilos.
He just keeps on hitting.
6 for 6 and forcing the hand of Ashton. It's going to be a big deadlift at the end of the day for the win. And Ashton will load up with the win in hand. Will he be successful?
Only time will tell. So Novi Pismeni takes the gold, Clement the silver, and great result for Walter Carriazo takes the bench bronze. We're going to take a 10-minute break now. You will not want to miss deadlifts. We are back. This is deadlift. This is where we decide who's going to be the world champion this year. Is it going to be the defending world champion Karlina Tongatea, or can Agata Shitko take it? Shitko is currently in the lead. You can see a subtotal there at 363, ahead of Karlina's 347.5. Looking at the openers, Agata's opening at 235, Karlina 232.5, so Agata's pulling second.
Historically speaking, Karlina Tongatea would have an advantage, but Agata covering a lot of ground in 2024 on her deadlifts.
And I think she's really found her feet this year.
Yeah.
She's always been a little bit of a firecracker, a little bit random.
She even posted at one point, I think I'm starting to turn into a deadlift specialist. Let's see what transpires.
Sara Sanchez is going to lead us out on 210. She did 227.5 in Estonia at the Euros back in December. No issues there. And we have Crane and Warford out next. The standard of deadlift in this category is phenomenal. Second out, and we're already up to 220 on the opening deadlifts.
Cranian's got a big deadlift, and the improvement upon her lifts makes it hard to judge where it might be today. 237.5 previously.
Well, it's going to be a long way north of 220. Sammy DePass is out next, Jamaica. 220 on the bar. This is a huge opener for Sammy. Pull 230 at the North Americans in the Cayman Islands. Three white lights.
That's a nice, good, smooth opener for Sammy.
And here's a Clara Perrault, still a junior, but let's not forget Shitko's still a junior. Same year of birth as Clara. 220 on the bar.
Clara can cover a lot of ground here. She's previously hit 242.5, but also previously not as heavy as she is today. And that's easy.
Sophia Ellis now, she's that unusual combination of big bencher, big deadlifter. I mean, we do see them. Agata Shitko is an example. And we have Jonathan Kaiko as well, as an example of someone with a big deadlift, big bench. Sophia had the biggest deadlift in the UK a couple of years ago. Of course, we've had some crazy 84s come through since then. 227.5 on the bar, 500 pounds. Wow, snappy as you like.
Yeah, that was easy work of 501 pounds.
Here's Jess Bittner. Now she's still the world record holder in this class at 261.5. Opening here today at 232.5. And it's unusual. We see that Jess isn't the last out to deadlift.
No, there was a time Jess was not only the biggest deadlifter in the division, but in all of the IPF, regardless of weight class. She has hit as big as 261.5 kilos.
Carlina Tongatea now fighting for her life, fighting for her world title. Opening with 232.5.
And her having to dead first, obviously a clear disadvantage. It's not the snappiest opener either. Here's the thing, so coming into this, Agata would have been, she had 250 kilos as her max. However, that was at 69 kilos. And the days that Carlina is out pulling Agata seem to be gone. And now that Agata already has this spread.
She's in the lead and she's pulling last.
Yeah,
she looks like a woman in control. 235 on the bar.
At this point, it might start turning into the battle, turns into a hunt. Let's see how this moves. That's trouble. That's big trouble.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
This has been a bugbear for Shitko for a couple of years now. Just missed on body weight in Sun City in 22. Just missed by 2.5 kilos in Malta in 2023. I think it's her day.
Yeah, with Agata now a total of 598 and Carlina at 580. And Agata's pull is stronger. It's just, where is the pathway, if I'm honest? Right now, Carlina has to start looking over her shoulder to Team USA and Crane and Warford.
And don't discount Jess Bittner sitting in fourth.
Never.
But she's got that huge deadlift.
Never. They won't allow me back to Canada.
Sara Sanchez, Spain, 222.5. Slowed her down just a tiny bit. Still got a little bit more to give, I think. We have Sammy DePass out next, Jamaica. Probably don't need the score sheet just yet. 232.5 on the bar. Starting to approach your top end now. I wouldn't expect more than 5 kilos on that.
You know, if I may just to speak a little bit more on the development of Agata Shitko in her deadlift, just for a little bit of context, last year's World Championships, when she was a 76, by the way, she finished with 240. Now 245 is her second attempt. 235 flew. It's just her progress.
I think dipping down to these 69s really has made her appreciate what she can do in the 76s. But we have Crane and Warford right now, USA. She's gone up 15 kilos. This is 235.
And speaking of development, 237.5 was her previous personal best. Taking 235 as her second. Oh, and that was fast and snappy.
She has had a great debut on the IPF platform, and it's not over yet.
She has Bittner, she has the pass, all coming for that bronze medal position, chasing her.
Clara Perrault, France for 237.5.
And I say bronze medal chasing her, where Warford, in all honesty, could be positioning herself for a silver medal.
That is a big weight to be moving so casually.
Perrault 237.5 for a second.
Sophia Ellis for her second. 240 on the bar. She did 245.5 in Estonia. So we're not quite up to her max yet.
What do you think, Joe? There's a little bit of a hiccup near the top. Uh-oh. They think it's a down up. I need to see this.
Maybe it's supporting though. That could be a blue card failure too. So supporting on the thighs. I didn't see it go up and down.
I didn't see supporting either, but let's see.
Was it up and down?
It wasn't supporting. Was it up and down? That's a tough one.
It's marginal. I can see the coaches at the jury table.
There was definitely a hiccup.
They've overruled.
All right.
It's a good lift.
And
Good
I agree with that overrule.
Yeah, it was a surprise when the red lights came up. We have Carlina Tongatea on the platform right now, 240 on the bar.
Carlina, I don't know if she's pacing for that 255. At this point, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't think she's chasing Agata, but she's defending silver. Yeah, that's near top end, and her silver medal is a vulnerable position at this point.
And even with that lift on the board and Agata hasn't come out yet, Agata is still more than 10 kilos ahead.
Yeah, it's, whereas in contrast, Warford, if she hits 250 for her final pull, will bypass Tongatea for the silver medal.
But here is Canada's pride, Jess Bittner, 245 on the bar.
She needs this to be convincing.
That's fairly convincing.
Yeah, that's fairly convincing. And she's confident with it, and that is important.
Agata Shitko is charging the platform. This will be a junior total world record at 6:08. This is the first time she's been north of 600. 245 on the bar. And she's got more, Ryan.
Yeah, 6:08 by her second, and she is really asserting herself in this 76 kilo class. At this point, the spread is just too big.
It's not over till it's over,
Wow.
but I can't see her being caught.
Well,
so those are the deadlift standings, with Shitko ahead of Bittner on body weight only, and Sophia Ellis currently in third.
but we still do have a battle. This podium has not been decided.
Zara Sanchez would like 2:35 to finish her day.
Okay, the Americans change Warford's final pull.
Oh, hamstring pull.
Yeah, the barbell got away from her body and she was pulled in a bad position.
Let's hope that's just a tweak and not too bad. But when you're operating right on the limit of what is humanly possible, these things do happen.
And it looks like the Americans are looking to solidify bronze as opposed to targeting Carlina's silver. Might be a more realistic option with 245.
Of course, all 3 podium places will be going to Chengdu for the World Games in 2025. Here's Sammy DePass. 240. She's had a great day today, and this 240 will put the cherry on the top. Move her up to 4th place for the moment. Few lifters still to go.
Wow, and temporarily bypassing 2-time world champion Jessica Bittner. What a showing by Sammy DePass. Of course, Jessica will have an opportunity to respond.
So here's Crane and Warford. She's sitting in 3rd place. This won't change her position, but she's defending against Jess Bittner.
And let me say, if she hits this, she will have a 585 kilo total. She came into this with a 560 kilo total, 25 kilos onto her total since American Nationals. The progress is startling.
Is incredible.
Now she's hit 237.5. This is reasonable.
Just looking to put herself out of range and secure that ticket to Chengdu.
Whoa! And she had more.
More.
585 in her first Worlds.
She has done fantastic.
You know, just a couple years ago, 585 would have won you the world title.
The look of surprise on her face at the top was an absolute picture.
25 kilos on her total.
Our Sophia Ellis is looking for deadlift gold. This will give it to her, albeit temporarily. 4 lifters still to pull.
Might net her on deadlift podium.
This is within her wheelhouse. She's lifted this weight before.
She locks it out.
Was there down and up again? The center ref says yes, the other 2 refs say no.
2-1 is good. I do see the jury deliberating.
They're leaning in for the replay, just as I am.
Yeah, let's see. There's a pause. I don't see a down up. I saw a pause.
I'm
Do you
not
see what I see?
certain. If it was there, it was so tiny, I would not like to be making this call.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't pronounced enough for myself anyways. Anyway, it's overruled.
It's overruled, no lift for Sophia Ellis.
Carlina in silver medal position here.
That was an unpopular decision with the crowd, but we have
Yeah.
Carlina Tongatea. She is not pulling for the win. It is too far out of range. 245 on the bar to try and keep the silver medal.
She will lose her world title, but all is not lost. She will get silver and a shot at World Games. What a way to end it for her. Gutsy final pull. Thanks the crowd. wasn't the day she wanted, but still, 3
Her
for 3 in
run
deads.
as world champion has come to an end, or at least a pause. But we will see these two do battle again, I'm sure. Clara Perrault, 247.5 on the bar. She's looking for deadlift gold. This won't change her overall. Jess Bittner has a placeholder in there. She's looking to pull last.
Yeah, I don't think that's a placeholder.
You think she's coming out for 262.5?
Well, she's hit 261.5 before.
And that's 247.5.
Oh, no.
Not quite there for Clara Perrault.
She's upset, but she need not be. She held herself respectfully, 555 kilo total.
It's
Nothing to
more
hang.
of a jump that Jess has taken before at that weight, but first we have Agata Shitko. 250 on the bar. This will give her the open and the junior total world records.
613 kilos if she hits this. Agata Shitko, your current 76 kilo world champion.
She finally knocked down the bugbear. She finally took the classic world title. There's not much left for her to do.
Yeah, she also said she wanted that head-to-head against Carlina to get revenge and a win over her. She's got both now. And there it is! Agata Shitko in a brilliant performance.
She is the world record holder. She's the world champion. She can finally put that last remaining notch in her belt.
World champion in Classic, world champion in Equipped, World Games, Sheffield, a legend in the making.
And Shitko wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
One more pull to go. And it's a world record.
It's Jess's world record.
Last time she pulled anything around this, she was winning a world title.
And this will get her on the podium. This is her
Whoa.
ticket to Chengdu.
Listen to that crowd. They're behind her. The stadium is rumbling. They're stomping their feet. They're calling her out. And here she comes.
Everything on the line. Deadlift gold, overall bronze medal.
She's never finished off podium before. Whoa, too much today.
You know, it was worth the shot, but it was ambitious. But earlier this year, we crowned a new queen in the 69 kilo class with Shitko. We've just crowned a new queen in the 76 kilo class with Shitko. We know she's going to the Equipped as an 84. Could she win Sheffield and 2 world titles in 3 different weight classes in 1 year?
I mean, I'm starting to lose superlatives to use to describe her. Besides the fact that she is a living legend already as just a junior, to unseat now, she's claiming so many big names and claiming this title and finally getting revenge on Carlina. But also, as we look at the rest of the field, look at Warford in her first world appearance, just getting her feet wet in powerlifting, 585. Could she be a rising rival for Shitko?
I think she will be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
With no time to draw breath, we are through to the 105 kilo class, and it's Corentin Clement already on the platform, 310 on the bar.
I did the math, and if Anatoly ends up around 355 range, which he's capable of, that'll make Ashton have to pull around 382.5
Wow.
range, and he's done it before, but that's the very top end range for him.
3 white lights, that is a good lift for Clement. Now, I've just seen that Noah Pismeni dropped his opening deadlift. Ruska went up. They were both on 330 for their opener. Noah Pismeni now has 325. Ruska has 332.5. Smart move, so he goes afterwards.
And that is usually around where Anatoly opens up. As long as he ends up around 350 to 355, he's going to push Ashton to his top end as well. And then it's who's hitting, who's missing at their top end. Very tight.
Here's Timo Jacobi, Germany, for 322.5. That was fast. Nice quick opener for Timo. And here comes the king of the 105s. It's Anatoly Novopismeny, Ukraine. 325 for his opener. Well, not super fast. Maybe not looking quite as out there as his squat did.
Yeah, this is, you know, you don't want to read too much in. Are they holding back for a big final pull?
But Anatoly is the man in the lead, and here comes the man chasing. It's Ashton Ruska. 332.5, raised his opener ever so slightly. Been looking incredibly strong.
That was fast.
Yeah, I would say that looked easier than Anatoly's. But Anatoly, we know that he can make it look really difficult and then put 20 kilos on and do it again.
They're both going to end up near their top end. Anatoly's going to end up around 350, in the 350s. Ash probably in the around 380, in the 380s. And when they're both at their top ends, it's just who hits the last dead.
Walter Carriazo, 335. Had a great result on bench, took the bronze medal. That was super quick. That was a blink and you miss it, which is how you want your aim to move, really. Abdullah Mohammed, Libya. We've seen unusual technique from him on squat and bench. We're going to see it again on deadlift. 350 for his opener. Actually, his positioning looked much better than I remember from Malta.
Mohammed, he's able to grind if he needs to.
I just think his back position is massively improved from the last time I saw him lift.
The thing is, his knees are revving already, and we're at the openers.
Sweden's favourite son, it's Emil Norling. Big deadlifter. We've seen him do 380. This is 350.
Judging off that opener, I think he's somewhat moving into a bronze medal position that's relatively safe.
Gonna have to keep Mohammed behind him though.
Although, Canada's Walter has put in 367.5 for a second attempt.
Wow.
Massive jump and can easily start covering ground.
Now here we have the biggest deadlift in British powerlifting. It's Sanchez Dillon, 360 on the bar for his opener.
Might he be the biggest deadlifter in the world? We'll see soon.
Looks on form. I would suspect a world record attempt, extend his own world record on his second, and then push out for the big one. But he's not going to get much time to recover because we are already calling Corentin Clement to the bar. Quick look at the deadlift standings there. Anthony McCleggan did 350 in the B group earlier today. I think he took an M1 world record with that. Here's Clement, 325 for his second pull.
It's substantially below 365, his best to date. Not sure what he might be facing though, and that looks difficult. He's gonna finish well. Oh yeah, he looks.
Yeah, he's almost stiff-legged that. I wonder if he's having some kind of quad issues.
No question, there's something going on with Coco. Take a look at this bull. Almost.
Hips rise early, legs are straight.
Yeah.
Way before.
It was just a stitch messy.
Doesn't look happy. This is for Timo Jacobi, Germany, 337.5. Making short work of 337.5.
Yeah, take a look at this replay here. He's a little bit hunched over, and it's a bit of work to get his shoulders back. He faces relatively facing the ground, and the shoulders back at the end.
Yeah, and the bar kicked out from him as he started to pull.
All right.
Here comes Anatoly. We are already pushing the world record total. 340 on the bar. This will give him 940.5.
Let's see how this moves. If it moves like a second attempt should, into the 350s we go.
It's not terribly convincing. I'm not sure how much more he's got, Ryan.
If he can get 350, Ashton is going to be pushed to the brink. But he needs to be at the brink himself without teetering over. Now, I'm not overly confident in that second attempt.
Well, here is Ashton Ruska. He's taking 360. Now, if he does take that massive deadlift, that 360 deadlift, he doesn't usually step up to this kind of range and then step up again, does he? This is usually where he's ending up.
$360 kilos for Ashton.
This won't get him ahead of Anatoly, but it will close the gap.
He's hot on Anatoly's heels. Oh, that was much more convincing, wasn't it?
It really was. So this begs the question now. Anatoly's put in 355. I don't know if he's got 355.
Judging by how 340 moved, I think 350 might be a big ask.
Well, we'll see. They have got two changes on final deadlifts. Meanwhile, we have Emil Norling for 360 as well.
Emil trying to push back the charge of Libya and Canada.
sagged a tiny bit at the top there.
Yeah, despite the smile, it might be a bit of a poker face because he did sag at the top.
Which we don't usually see for him on his second pull, or at all, really.
He's trying to convince us he's on form, but
Just there.
not quite as convincing. What an interesting turn of events we have. Emil, vulnerable, but currently in third position.
Abdullah Mohammed is out next for 365.
Emil currently at 897.5. This will bring Mohammed up to 895.
Now we've got some game playing going on. Emil's put in 400 for his final lift. Don't expect him to come out for that.
Wow, the engine revs.
I'm waiting for the referee's decision on this one. 2-2 on a good lift.
Yeah, he leans back and the knees aren't totally locked. It's good enough for a 2-1 decision, but take a look at this.
We're not going to get a good view of, there we go.
Experiencing turbulence. Yeah, that's
uncertain. The jury are discussing it. I think they're overturning it. It's overruled. No lift.
I agree with that.
No lift.
It was a stitch charitable.
Yep.
To call that locked.
So I think that's put a real dent in his plans to make the podium. But meanwhile, here's Walter Carriazo looking for 367.5. Massive jump, Ryan.
Absolutely massive jump. Over 30 kilos. Walter covering a lot of ground in the second attempt. And
making it look easy.
He's got more there.
Carriazo now moves up to fourth place. And he's challenging Norling. Because that looked much more comfortable than Norling's second.
Worth noting, Walter is lighter than Emil as well. And it did look more comfortable, didn't it?
It really did.
Canada might clinch a medal in the 105s and a ticket to the World Games.
Now here's Sanchez Dillon. His own world record is 391. Now at 382.5, I don't know if he's stepping up for that big 411, you know. We'll see how this one moves. Oh, well, maybe he is. That was really comfortable.
It's difficult. Yeah, well, he said 4. He said 4.
He's been talking about it. He says he's going to load it. I'm going to wait to see it on this score sheet.
I'm still waiting for Ukraine to change their last poll. It can't be 355. As
we wait for that final, he's put 400 in. Dillon's put 400 in. So Sanchez Dillon's leading in the deadlifts, 382.5, ahead of Karatio and Ruska. But more importantly, Nora Pismeni is only 5 kilos ahead of Ashton Ruska. And they are clear now of Emil Norling, but he's under pressure from Walter Carriazo. All to play for in the final round.
Anatoly does not have 15 kilos more in his deadlift.
No.
And if he misses, and all Ashton needs is another 5 kilos, I mean, I would bet everything I own that he's got another 5 in his. So that final poll for Anatoly, I'm assuming is going to change. And if I have this moment, I'll give a shout out to our sponsors, Eleiko, whose equipment you see on the platform today and every day here at the World Championships, as well as SPD that sponsors several of our national teams and some of the biggest stars of our sport, and visit Malta. Malta hosted the World Championships last year. I had an opportunity to visit there, and if you have any vacation, we encourage you to visit Malta.
So as we time out that lift, we are looking for Timo Jacobi to come out next for 345. Looking just to bump himself up the rankings a couple of places. a tough lockout. He's selling it well.
Yeah, tough. Well, 2-1, it passes. We have an attempt change. I'm going to assume it's Anatoly.
Yeah, it's Anatoly.
347.5. Much more realistic. You know what?
That's a good move, yeah.
Yeah, I think he probably, going for his top end pull, I don't think it's there. Obviously, squats taxed him. 7.5 kilos more, it's reasonable.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned about 10. I think he's got 7.5. And then he'll just have to wait and see.
This is going to be so close. Anatoly Novopismani, multiple-time world champion in multiple weight classes, 2-time world's best lifter, legend of the game.
He is rarely challenged like this, but he needs this lift.
It is the biggest challenge of his life, but he's looking to post up the biggest total of his life. Can he apply the pressure to Ashton?
That is a shame to lose it on grip.
Yeah, and
he's in trouble now.
He's in big trouble. Ashton and Team USA are going to drop that deadlift.
Yep. We have the attempt change coming in right now. And there it goes.
5 more kilos. Ashton, it would be more than a little surprising if he doesn't hit 365.
Yep. Here he comes.
This will give Ashton 940.5, winning on body weight. And his first world title.
360 was easy for him. Can't see him missing.
Here he comes. For years, we've been waiting for Ashton to appear at the IPF World Championships. And here he is.
And there it is.
Your 105-kilo world champion.
What a performance.
Living up to the hype, answering the questions. Can he meet the standard?
Well, I mean, we can't say that's an upset. We knew we were in for a fight, and Novopismani's put up a better fight than a lot of people expected him to.
Yeah, hats off to Anatoly. If his deadlift was here on the day, really could have got dicey for Ashton. But a great performance by both individuals.
We have 4 pulls remaining. This is Abdullah Mohammed. Missed 365. Couldn't just get the lockout sorted. This is 367.5 to knock Emil Norling off the podium. Everybody's hunting down those World Games qualifications.
The bronze medal could be in reach if he could just tidy up his form a little bit, lock his knees, not lean back quite so far. Turbulence. Oh my goodness, wow. A little too much today.
So he remains in 5th place. That's how tight this is, jockeying for position. He gave that absolutely everything he had, but it wasn't enough. Okay, Emil Norling, 367.5. He's done way more than this in the past.
Yeah, this will give him 905, which is below his best, but he's going to need this because Walter loading up to bump him off the podium. Looks like he's done it.
I think so.
Looks like he's done it.
Will it be enough to keep Walter at bay?
Well, 367.5 moved well for Walter. He really does have no other decision but to pull for it.
So that attempt change is coming in right now. There it is, 385 going on the bar.
I'm going to tell you, if he hits this, they'll be dancing in the streets coast to coast in Canada, defeating a former world champion and bumping him off the podium, earning his spot at World Games in China, and collecting a bronze medal.
Most he's done up to now is 376. But this is for the bronze medal, this is for the podium, this is for the World Games invite.
Canada sending out their lifters, trying to get on the podium. First Jess, now Walter. Oh, but this is different. Oh, dead at the knees.
I think it's the same. We have one lift remaining, and it's Sanchez Dillon. He was always going to pull last. He is about to attempt to break his own world record and become the first man in British powerlifting to pull 400 kilos raw.
An unthinkable feat for a 105. But here we are. History about to be made, a new milestone hit.
He's on his way, here he comes. He's done 391.
400 kilos by a 105. Oh! History is made!
He's got it!
Sanchez Dillon, 400 kilos!
Absolutely incredible. What a finish.
New level unlocked.
What a way to finish this session. Incredible. So let's take a look at that result. Sanchez Dillon, a new world record and a new benchmark for British deadlifting, 400 kilos. Walter Carriazo, fantastic performance. Deadlift silver with 367.5 on body weight ahead of Emil Norling. But more importantly than that, Ashton Ruska is your new 105 kilo world champion on body weight ahead of Anatoly Novopismeni. And Emil Norling gets the bronze medal and secures his place to the 2025 World Games.
And there it is. For years, we had been waiting for Ashton to make his IPF Worlds debut. Could he live up? The travel, the weight cut, the opposition, the standard of the IPF. You hear all these things tossed around whenever someone's making their first appearance. Ashton living up to the potential.
Looked like he was, it looked like the wheels had come off a little bit. Looked like Anatoly was going to outpace him, but it all came back on the deadlift.
And beating a guy like Anatoly for the world title. What can you say? Anatoly, battle-tested, proven, and earned so many different titles himself.
Means so much more.
Right.
And to have beat him when he was on such great form, getting the squat world record. I think we're going to go and have another look at that deadlift. Yeah, here we go. 400 kilos, Sanchez Dillon for a new world record. Look at that.
And that is just...
what a way to finish.
You know, it's insane that we're here, but here we are. And let's also say, Emil Norling, while not having the day he wanted, earning his spot on the podium into World Games, and hopefully, if he returns to top-end form, he can push some people.
We hope you enjoyed that deadlifting, the lifting tonight. We certainly have. We have more for you tomorrow. Every single night has delivered, and we promise more tomorrow. See you then.
See you then.
for first individual lifts, beginning with squat. In the bronze medal position on squat with 215 kilos. From Canada, it's Jessica Bittner. Squat silver with 217.5, it's New Zealand's Carlina Pogopea. Squat gold with 220 kilos, it's the USA's Quinn Warford. Great job, ladies, thank you. And if you would rejoin your fellow competitors, thank you. We now move to bench press in bronze medal position with 125 kilos from France. It's Clara Perrault. Bench press silver with 130 kilos from New Zealand. It's Carlina Pogopea. Bench press gold and a new world record of 155.5. It can only be Poland's Agata Szybko. Well done, ladies, great job. Thank you. And now to deadlift. In bronze medal position with 245 kilos, it's Canada's Jessica Bittner. Deadlift silver, also with 245, it's New Zealand's Carlina Pogopea. And deadlift gold with 250 kilos, it is Poland's Agata Szybko. Well done, ladies, thank you. And it is finally time to crown the 76 kilo open world champion. They will also receive their invites to Chengdu, a panda from Chengdu and some swag from UESN. The bronze medal goes with 585 goes for the USA's Quinn Warford. Overall silver with 592.5 goes to New Zealand's Carlina Pogopea. Which means that your new Open World Champion with a new total record of 613 kilos. I think it's the other one she has won. It's Poland's Agata Szybko! They will also receive their official invites to Chengdu, the World Games 2025. Please hold these invites side out, ladies and gentlemen, as Gaston presents them to you. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Poland. Okay, everyone has their participation medals. A warm handshake to Robert Keller. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's begin with the individual medals. First for squats. In bronze medal position with 327.5 kilos from Bolivia, it's Abdullah Mohammed. On your right side, squat silver with 365.5, briefly a world record, the USA's Ashton Ruska. Well done, sir, and I say it was briefly a record because squat gold with 370.5, the new world record, goes to Ukraine's Anatoly Golopismeny. Great job, guys. Thank you. And now to bench press. In bronze medal position with 212.5 kilos from Canada, it's Walter Carriazo. Bench press silver with 215 kilos goes to Francis Colentin Clément. A bench press gold with 230 kilos goes to Ukraine's Anatoly Golopismeny. Well done, gentlemen, thank you. And now to deadlift, if we don't mind. In bronze medal position with 367.5 kilos, from Sweden, it's Emil Norling. Deadlift silver, also with 367.5 kilos, goes to Canada's Walter Carriazo. And deadlift gold with a new world record of a nice round 400 kilos, goes to Great Britain's Sanchez Dye. Great job, guys, great job. Thank you. And if you will return to the back once more, it is time to crown the new 105 kilo open world champion. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. In bronze medal position with 905 kilos, from Sweden, it's Emil Norling. Taking silver, receiving, of course, the Panda and the USN Shaker. They'll get the rest of the bag later. In silver medal position with 940.5 from Ukraine, it is Anatoly Golopismeny. Which means that your 105 kilo open world champion with 940.5, just what he needed is the USA's Ashton Ruska! Once again, the invite to Chengdu 2025 for the World Games, the official invites, please hold them the right way around for the camera. Turn it round, Emil. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of the United States of America. gentlemen, if you would return to your fellow competitors at the back of the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these epic 105s a huge round of applause as they follow the technical controller from the platform.